Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. He loves like defender of the fatherland. Whew, that was fast. Off here to a 1v1 on Crossroads, the North is M246, fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the glorious 2nd Panzerdivision with Scavenge, Luftwaffe Ground Forces and Elite Armored versus in the south is Orzel, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here with the wondrous 3rd Armored Division with Mechanized, featuring Mechanized groups, reserve armor, cavalry riflemen, mortar half-tracks, and combined arms, doubling down to 10 guns. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters to keep me going in these spectacular times. A big thanks to them. You too can join the heroic and wondrous ranks by pledging on Patreon. You can always just donate. Links in the description. Always comment, like, share, subscribe, and, prevent the YouTube algorithm from kicking in my door and dragging me off to some unknown site. So, we got here early Mechanized with the dart truck out for Orzel. It's going to put some pressure down on the map control and later on use M246 directly. But officially, it's just basically a Kubelwagen that could just, be better and scale better than the actual Kubelwagen, plus transport infantry and repair itself more easily than the Kubelwagen. And it's pushing westwards here. It's an interesting open air. West side's going for the north, south side's going for the northern or the western fuel points. North side is going for the eastern viewpoint. Typically, it actually is the reverse, unless we're actually talking the winter version, in which case this is the normal order, in a sense how most players play it. But again, just a bit of a note there. Sandbags up at the eastern viewpoint, sandbags on the carve point. Good work there by Use. Meanwhile, Orzel on the west here's got tank traps barred wide down, and more infantry for both sides. So far, we're almost at the 2-minute mark, and neither side has yet to see each other. Hey, Jürgen, yeah, aren't there supposed to be Americans here? Yeah, now that you mention it, it's not like Americans are known for their silent qualities. Yeah, now that you mention it. And it's moving up, there we go, first shots from the south here. It is the dart truck popping the rifle squad here. Still Pioneers are probably the squad that is best suited fighting it, since the assault rifle can actually do some damage to it consistently, whereas the full Pioneers tend to be less effective on their own. In fact, 2 Storm Pioneer squads can actually deal with the stuff like M3A1s, dart trucks. Even Universal carriers fairly decently though. That's about it. Thus, most players don't bother with double Storm Pioneers. But occasionally you can catch a play off guard with that one. Ralph's coming about here for Orzel. Sneaking about, they're looking to cut off Use. The Use are moving in forces from the front line to deal with that. Ralph's got here could actually quickly find himself surrounded and shot to bits here if Orzel's not careful. There we go. Use charging in. There we go. Ralph's got retreating. No sign of dodging it here for Use. Whereas again, Orzel of course is very much on the mechanized plan there. Ralph's got taking a lot of damage. Down to half health. Less than half health. There we go. Took a loss. Down to a quarter of health. In fact, possibly about a fifth of health there. Ralph's got Mechanized was there for Orzel. And point being grabbed. Got the 5th cal there mounted on the back of the dart truck, increasing its firepower significantly. Got the return out there for Orzel. So fairly fast tech there. Probably going to see some 50 cals being chucked out there. And maybe even some cavalry riflemen. Akedna filling up for Use. He's obviously concerned about the dart truck. And wishes to put that one to rest. Here's being routed here. Akedna almost done. Orzel then not quite going for the 5th cal yet, which I imagine going forward fast. Interesting there. Graham needs some fuel point. So right now Orzel is rapidly gaining control of most of the map here versus Use, which is definitely not great for Use, especially not on Crossroads, which does have more points than average, meaning if you gain control of the most of the map here fast, you can actually snowball that into like faster armor, much faster compared to other maps, which is one of the Crossroads defining features. The other one is the map can get rather sluggish due to the way the hedgerows are set up. It creates boxes, which means it can also become a very campy map. Truck on the way there for Use. Folks, there's the rifle squad. Other squadron from the north. Got the cavalry rifle squad out there. So, interesting enough goes for that rather than 50 cals first. I mean, not that cavalry riflemen are banned, particularly not with Thompsons, but you kind of just figured go for the 50 cals. At least a couple of them first. But again, cavalry riflemen with the Thompson submachine gun there added to them are quite solid. So, I mean, it's not like it's a bad choice, just slightly confusing. Returning with some folks with Steel Pioneer, see we caught it in a bit of a crossfire. We got the dart truck there firing way there. Doing as much damage as it can. Murdering away as efficiently as it can. Akedna shoots and misses. Cavalry chopping at the foot grenadiers. Another shot misses with Akedna. Obviously just attacking ground home to hit the hedges. Not quite Managing it, I'm sure it's meant to terrify some of the local wildlife hiding in the bloody hedges. Thinking, what the devil is this now? Carav's going to be a mechanized regiment going up on the car plant. Problem is that you'd actually risk getting knocked out here. Possibly, there's a small chance here. On the other hand, of course, it's on the car plant, I guess. But yeah, taking a lot of damage from the cav rifleman. If you had more troops bringing it fast enough, he could actually destroy this entirely. In fact, he did destroy it. Oh dear, that's actually a bit of a loss there for use. Since he doesn't get any of the resources back from that, that's going to be a significant setback. Certainly got punished there. I guess he didn't think Orzel would push in that hard on it, but Orzel did. So that's definitely putting use there in a fairly awkward spot there. Troops reinforcing and healing. Well, of course, to go for another try and then build up, but again, there is a significant delay in tech. Which, if Orzel also gets good map control to like further push, it could really lead to a strong position for Orzel here versus use. Falling back from the car point, troops reinforcing. Stuart light tank halfway down there for Orzel and the Americans. Turning up the car point, we've got a few Schützenmine down there for use M246, Donor Doctrine. At this rate, though, he could be forced into something like Luftwaffe ground forces, in part because we're going to need Fallschirmjäger attack, like his elite infantry to push through Orzel here. Because we're going to need something that he can leverage harder here versus Orzel than just Volksgrenadiers. As for Orzel, of course, he could be, yeah, there we go, Luftwaffe ground forces, so we're probably going to be seeing some Fallschirmjägers here for use to try. He may have, of course, been planning it anyways, but as it currently stands, he's definitely forced into it as well, more than necessary previously, because again, he absolutely needs the Fallschirmjägers and their firepower now. Stood out there for Orzel. Turn being caught here, he will also likely need to undertake a Raketen effort. Dog truck moving in there, one kill. Oh, hits the man with the cav rifleman. Would obviously been better for him than Stood doing that, but you know, putting a stop to anything, there's at least something there. Again, from this, the dog truck again. That's going to be very frustrating for that Raketen effort crew that just can't seem to hit anything. Ambulance pulling up there for Orzel. It's forced with heavy cover being slowly shot to bits here. That said, Orzel is diving it pretty aggressively, risking actually getting pants fast in the retreat, which would make it much easier with the Raketen effort here. But it seems like Hughes is a bit cautious about trying to pull that off, risking he might take too much casualties as opposed to the Stuart there, and so doesn't go for it. Back here, Battle Group headquarters, so the mechanized regiment is obviously no longer on the plan because, again, fuel-wise, he can't really afford it without really leaving himself vulnerable to like enemy armor and larger scale, particularly since he's up against mechanized. There are the Bulldozer Shermans and the 76 Shermans all the way. The Puma's going to be less effective against that, so he is forced to go for the Battle Group headquarters here. Will again risk getting crushed by armor in a very spectacular fashion, which would obviously not, I imagine, be what users planning. Fight to make starting with FT42 in the car 90Ks, got the Crossroads got in trouble. Got to get Badeladung off. Gets one kill there. Decent chance of getting a wipe on the rifle squad, which would certainly be helpful there for use, but he does not. Troops enforcing, and there you go. Troops heading eastwards, going to try and break open some ground there, open up a new front versus Orzel. Stuart there being fixed up. Back here, nothing going there for Orzel. Could go for weapon max. He could also research grenades, but most players don't. Grabbing these 10 points here, losing the car point. Again, big sweeping push from Orzel into the west here. Forcing ring in, MD-44 backing you up. Very good there. Hughes was able to at least show, say, fairly flexibly react to the loss of the mechanized regiment, shift his tactics and his strategy in response. So, thumbs up there. We all make mistakes. The trick is usually then what happens when you make those mistakes. And actually, like, correct them. Can you adapt to the mistakes or the unexpected situation that can happen? So far, users certainly showing off some good skilling. Again, bouncing back nicely from an otherwise very nasty mechanized regiment loss. Cav rifle going to flank up behind us, going to problem there for use. Jump parts holding up there, close to T2. Cav rifle charging in there for freedom, democracy. Forcing away the machine gun crew, got the fast moves moving up. Orzel got combined arms ready as well, probably won't use it. Most American players never do, despite it being a pretty good ability. Takes a bit more setup and stuff like, assault and hold, assault from Mother Rush and all that, bound assault for example, but At the same time, it just has so much bigger potential if used correctly, so it's going to just give so much bigger boost both to infantry and your armor. It's a really powerful ability, again, it tends to get overlooked a lot. But again, a lot of these abilities generally just tend to get overlooked. Of course, they actually require some setup and all that sort of stuff there. And most people just tend to prefer like using them on big smashy air support or extraction around. Again, sometimes these things you need to do a lot more damage than the big split things will ever do typically. When you start full hit, taking heavy damage. Users in a bit of a precarious position in this Orzel on the defensive as the Americans keep striking against the second Hunter Division. Transport there routed. Heading eastwards against, trying again sneak away some attention from the west here. And overall might be a good idea just to swing hard east now, instead of trying to constantly push against Orzel here. Maybe though. Meanwhile, Orzel is taking up. Wing for armor. Good for him, but obviously a bit of a headache for use at this rate. But he has managed to like break away most of Orzel's western defense. He's going to go for that big point of view point. He refuses to give up. Back here to reinforcing, more troops being dispatched eastwards to open up a fresh point there, or fresh posting. 5 minutes to the lieutenant. Cavalry rifleman Fortress Center still doing it as well. Grabbing the eastern calf point there. Quick engage from there. Sturm Pioneer flanked. Got the full support to flank here further against the cavalry rifleman at least. Might be trying to get up the Kedman in time. Fortress Acton retreating into the cavalry rifleman, so he took back too much close. Western attack continues, since again without the vehicle to back it up. Hughes does have a slightly easier time of it, so again that might actually be ultimately the purpose of getting the forces eastwards here. Attacked as bait to draw away the light vehicles, in which case, plan successful. MU-35 out there for U-746, major out for Orzel. Still no, oh we do actually have weapon racks available, got some BRs there as well. And of course can add bazookas as needed. Oh, he's actually starting to exert more and more pressure on the east side now. And I think, again, part of it could simply be, again, just to keep the west side away from Orzel's attention. At which point, again, even like they're not defending it directly, they're kind of defending the western side of the map, but simply, again, forcing Orzel to commit more to the east side. And so far, Orzel seems to be falling forward. MD-44 pushing the right squad at the calf point, but still the calf point has been lost. Folks want to travel with the Stuart around the centre. Again, the Stuart is a great asset here for Orzel, and it's proven to be a bit of a bastard for you to deal with. And of course, Orzel only really has to deal with the Ken with the Fulton, so he just plays it smartly. He can be, you know, quite the nuisance. User's got the strap behind the quarters there, ready to be set up. Got the cut-off one almost under control. At which point I imagine we'll send up the strap behind the quarters to defend it. From Orzel, from freedom and democracy. Caught here by the MU-34, at least one of them. Continuing up here with a major in Toka, calls but slowly when he needs it. You got the other MD-44 here, need to get the full support coming down far west. You can actually sneak them up here, grab some of the points close. Orzel base in there, go to the strike on the MD-44, then the car one. Fights makes being pushed back. It's the dark truck, and then pushing forward back up with Stuart here. Using the artillery to sow confusion in lines to push forward for the Stuart light tank. Takes a bit hit from like heading after though. Might have gotten a bit too cocky there. Versus Hughes. And there we go, like Henry Crew taking heavy loss there. Steel Empire Squad all taking hit. There we go, more casualties. Good lord. Oh, he used the jar truck to call an artillery strike as well. He called in two, the cheeky bastard. And he might even use the first one as a decoy to make his opponent think, okay, it's just a small one, and then use the other to cover up the big one. That's pretty damn ingenious if that was the case, and certainly it looks like that was the case, so thumbs up there to Orzel. That's the first time I've seen that. I just... Don't worry, Jorgen, it's just a little one. Don't... Boom, boom. Oh god, my god. It's not a little one. Says assholes. Almost got the Stuart here, though. Almost. Got the Sherman away there for Orzel. 76 from the Sherman. Stuart with 7 kills for T2. Narrowly saved it there. And the MD-34 has also been cleared out. Scrap hunt quarters authorized. They want to consider some orbs down here to put pressure on Orzel's infantry further. But he's going to need another cannon because against the 76 Sherman plus the Stuart, And the Dodge truck. A singular Kidnapper is, I think, fairly optimistic in the hope that it can deal with all of that. Don't base, this is the finest Kidnapper you'll ever see. Yeah, it might be fine, but I don't think it'd stop all of that. Don't you worry about that. It can totally deal with that. There you go, something from out there for sale. I feel like you'd have gone for the regular Shem they added bulldozer blades, since that would have been a tougher Shem that can deal with infantry better. So I think that would have been the more optimal choice here for sale. Now that said, the sensitive Shem is still, of course, pretty good. Going westwards here with the Shem and the Stuart as well there. Doctor, they draw attention to the Kidnapper. We got 310 upon 38. Sturm Pioneer then being shot at, and there you go, second lieutenant on the way. The problem is right now, there's two tanks moving in. If our smoke train here, it could really disrupt here the situation for use end of 6 around the scarf point. But there you go, backs off, doesn't commit further. A Kidnapper number 2 almost done here. Rascal grammar up there. Pearson's lieutenant finding out around here. Trying to make a breakthrough into the cemetery here. Charging in with the Sherman quite aggressively. May want to throw down some smoke. He's going to dive in like that, I think. Solves a damaged engine. Okay, an impossible mistake there by Orzel, but so far doesn't look like he uses it to be able to punish it. Though he's able to do some heavy damage to the Sherman. Almost here threatening to take it out, but don't think he can quite finish it off there.
We're losing a capture point.
Fired so much water there, not enough munitions again. This remaining 5 Gewehr's. Still that takes another hit from my cannon, that lets me 2 on it. Scott Forcell adding some self-propelled artillery here versus you is going to make it harder to defend here. That's a strong choice there, obviously. Very strong, very nasty choice. And we got Orbison here for U-70 for 6. Not a bad choice either. Some more the infantry until he can get iron mark. Can certainly do some work here versus Orzel and the Americans. He obviously needs his fuel point back. And if he can get more points in the east, that would also do use quite a bit of good. Grab the center victory point there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
There we go. 5 Mega Gewehr's. The remaining ones. Almost got the Dodge truck here. 15 killed by like ace level. 16 kill. That thing has been doing great work there for Orzel. Been a great investment. And there you go. Orbison squad out. Going to take some time to get the 80 munitions for the LMG-34. And there you go. M8 Scott out there for Orzel. Still using some progress now in the east here as well. Very good for use. Less great for Orzel. Don't hearten disasters are. I mean, he does enjoy an armor advantage, whereas Hughes has absolutely no armor. Lieutenant, Ralph Squad, Cabra from East full squad, they've routed.
Here it comes.
Grabbing the calf point. Volkswagen squad, they're retreating, having grabbed the fuel point. Armor getting a move on here for Orzel, including the Dodge truck. Looking to make a push in the car from the quarter. The scrap hunter quarter is coming. Going to be hard. He's going to have to clear out a lot of the other stuff surrounding it first. Then he can deal with it. Or you could try and go for a lot of anti-tank guns and then set that mega round here and hope that they can shoot through all the hedges there. But we can't. Scott moving out there. Going to bombard the Germans. It's only one way again to deal with opponents dug in. And again, it's one of the reasons why Crossroads again tends to see a lot of artillery, because again it's a more campy map, and it's a map that again thusly invites a lot more artillery. Jamming there with a bit of light damage. Obviously kind of what's the fuel point for now. Got 279 to 427. Orzel's definitely enjoying a nice big 2-point lead there so far. Orzel adding another Scott. Gonna try and blast his way here through his opponent with a lot of artillery. Might even see another artillery strike from this one, I guess, then. All of a sudden getting the LMG-34s. Well, LMG-34, not one. Not plural, I mean just one. Moving westwards. Jumping back here again. Waiting for the Scot to basically clear out the Germans here. Not so sure that's firing there. Basically wanting some attention. Bit of quiet here. Germans just waiting up for the Americans to get their arse moving.
M8A1 is on the field.
McKinnon tries to hit it, misses, but there he goes. Second M8A1 out there for Orzel. Sneaking up there again. So there you go, second Scot ready. I mean, that's it. Orzel could try and launch an assault through the western side of the cemetery, and that way he's trying to creep in on user's position that way. But it seems like he's very intent on pulling off the head on assault, in which case, you know, you probably should lay down a smoke around here. That way you can isolate the rest of the front line from the Schwer Panther quarters, even obfuscate some of the units defending it, and just push ahead here. I think that could be a fairly effective tactic by Orzel. That said, he clearly isn't a big fan of smoke. Fox Squad moving up there. Panther almost done there for use. Bit of damage there, but nothing significant. He's bombarding the base as well, hoping to get lucky, which he isn't. Seems like Orzel is just blindly firing the artillery, in which case it means he's not doing a lot with it, really. This is great for you since the Scot can be powerful, but if he's just sort of randomly flying around home to get lucky, it's obviously a lot less powerful. That set attack into the Scot is great for the Scot and not so much for users men's continued living. There you go, light infantry, good shit, fun up to himself, good hit in the lieutenant, they almost takes out the entire unit. EC getting a response, and move on the other, kept moving up there. Aware with the Penfold drawing the EC8, he might be able to take it out, in fact. Ooh, not great setup. Look at there for scrape the force cell. But then he pushes in anyways. Oh dear. And it still doesn't get shot at. Orzel is dancing with danger here. There he goes, moves into the Kidnap's line of fire. Oh, there we go. Oh, only one rocket hits. My god, this man is lucky. Fighting for an almost something for use to firing down the Kidnap, not getting one kill. Panther 4 fighting away with 3 kills to its name. Down until the strike called in. Is it the Major? Is it the dog truck? No, it is the Major. I think he could have gone away with calling it decoy smoke there rather than actual barrage, to be honest. Scott holding back. Direct hit there on the Shem, but again, putting down to half health. Need to be a bit careful now. He needs to push back by artillery. Down to the strike calling as well with the dog truck this time around. Not quite as effective this time around, since again wasn't covered up by another artillery strike. Okay, you know, looked a lot less threatening. But either way, though, as you can see there, Use takes it seriously no matter what after that first, you know, double bombardment. The trick bombardment, if you will. Just been forcing healing, grab the western field point again. It's a bit of a slow down here between Use and Orzel once more. And again, partly seems to again just be how the map flows, because again, it is very campy the way the hedgerows and the buildings sort of create, shall we say, boxes for either side of the map. So it tends to just create very naturally campy terrain. Plus, the bits here in particular around it just further sort of creates that. Ralph swapping quick back with the Fox makers and the Panther 4. 6 kills there.
The capture point is under attack.
Scott moving up.
Boys, you ready to roll out?
Fixing up the Sherman.
Armor here.
Ralph squad returning in there. Panther 4 moving up as well. Major then inside the building. Panther 4 takes it from the rocket. Infantry westwards. Also got several munitions cast up for Orzel, so it's quite clear he is banking on calling in a lot of artillery with his dog truck and with his Major. 18 kills in that one as well. That's probably got to be one of the highest killed dodge trucks I've ever seen. Not in the west, being held up with the MU-34 there, bunched up at the same time. Oh, there we go, also press. Now Fox can move to further clean it up. And fooling about it. Common Blitz here, very good. Thumbs up. Almost got the Sherm to actually finish it off. In part with the Common Blitz, which, well, he didn't even need it. But oh, this is great for use. It actually gives him an advantage now versus Orzel, who's without a tank. He has to go for another one. Then he charges into the camera scope, which, well, doesn't take out the Panda 4, but certainly means it's not going to be doing too much for him for a while there. Still just close to the 2 there. 10 kills, very close to the 2 there. Got the Jar Truck rushing, got the Scott moving up there, close to the east level on that one.
A capture point is being overrun.
Going for the cop on there, Panther 14 dying, need to repairs. It's also not far away from another. Panther 4 could also go for the Yak Panzer. Could also, I think, try and do a bit more on the right flank here. If he wanted to. And apparently the engine on that Sherman is still firing off despite being burned out.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
So there you go, second Sherman ready. Still going over on that. To the Reactions. The Reactions obviously stand no chance against that. Artillery fire finishing them off. Very good. Got 5 kills. Like close to 2 dogs. I'm saying out here. Stewart takes an action from the Ken, getting actually 4 more to the firing down there. Landing in the midst here of Orzel's infantry. Cavalry moving forward to 10 kills, 15-3. Ace over there, Shem rushing forwards. Scott firing on the other side. Got 12 kills, 52. They're trying to take out here. Uses light infantry shots. In fact, looks like both of them are actually trying to silence it, but just moves it. McKenna will trying to take out the Scott. He's not hitting. Panther moving forwards. Going for the Sherman here, backed up by infantry. 14 kills, veteran 2. In the west side, units are trying to sneak up and hold it by the MD-34, which remains in position since last time. Infantry getting hammered by the artillery, taking hit from the Panther 4 as well. Ralph's got pushed back. Sherman takes it for the Sherman. Oh, but McKenna and the Panther 4. Panther 4 with 17 kills. McKenna for there. Close for 2. Could actually, I think, Common Blitz to finish it off here, but I guess use the sights, that could be too risky. Which it can't fall him forward. Also, maybe he's trying to set up for the airborne assault. Another Sherman here for self finds time to build up a large armoured force. Troop reinforcing healing here. And use Connect to go for another Panther 4. But arguably, maybe he's actually planning to go for a Panther now. A Panzerkampfwagen 5. That could be an option. You could also just go for the Yak Punch. Meanwhile, Sherman needing repairs. Engine still firing off. Scott there, 2 kills. Fishing and repositioning back to base. Quite the repositioning. Hey, where are you guys going? Are we just tactically repositioning? Yeah. Is that what we're calling it now? Yeah, totally. Just don't say it to the officers. Moving up westwards there. Sherman almost done there for Orzel. Panther 4 racing forwards again, it seems, very slowly. And then go 2 Shermans ready here. Uses not fire from the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Westwards here, a huge lump of infantry. If he can catch use off guard with it, great, but if he catches it with the Panther 4 and some other choice weaponry, this could become very painful. There goes Bazooka from the Panther 4, doing some light damage. I think he moved into position there to get off a bun grenade and a tree pile, there getting a unit wiped there. Troops are getting absolutely demolished here though by using the big flank here. Lacked armoured support, at least some smoke support there from the rest of Orzel's forces. Making it easy here for use to ultimately disarm and just cut to ribbons. I mean, so many Americans dead there. So then being a bit wasteful. Scott there moved up. Finally, Sherms that were hesitant to move in there. Go directly in the Panther, punching straight for the frontal armour. Switch over to the HVAP rounds on this one. To increase the armor penetration. East side here we got the folks on this Grand Eastern fuel point. Direct hit on the Sherman, and we got another trial for use. So I'm guessing he's actually going for the King Tiger now rather than the Panther. Yes, I mean it just seems, I don't know, a bit pointless. And you could also just go for another Panther 4 to be honest, but okay. Grand Eastern fuel point there. Sherman rushing forward into the cannon now. For also going to get Panther fast. We got air support called in here. This is a highly risky maneuver. They should of course be aware of the possibility of air assault. He's done around aircraft support. And now his armor is lined up in a nice way here. He's got the cannon now. His Panther 4 to rush in to finish it off here. This ones would have been great if he'd had like another tank already ready. Kenner got wiped up the Scots. Small win there for him, but the Scots actually caught him with the other Kenner and the Panzer IV. He doesn't lose any of the main tanks, he loses the artillery here, and there you go. Comet Blitz. Already fired off, never mind, but even then the Scot Pump and Smoke won't be able to save it. Panzer IV can just push through here. Loss of Sherman as well. These are huge armored losses for Orzel. His advantage is basically exploding right before he uses front lines. Even when you take out the Dart Truck here, this is an absolute carnage. So many armored fighting vehicles just exploding. He just went from like 3 tanks, 1 light, and 2 self-propelled artillery and a Dart Truck, like just 1 tank and a Stuart light tank. I mean, good God. Talk about a beating. Panzer IV got from the counter rifle and doing some heavy damage there. Slowly approaching 84 Sherman in the back top of the making, pushing back the troops on the west side. East side here, lone rifle squad being torn to shreds for the opposite side. And the artillery fights Megers, the Fultz Grenadiers. Just utter devastation here. Panzer IV being pushed back with the Sherman Bazooka team there. Good hit for the Sherman. But it seems like Hughes is determined to go for that Koenigsegg, that Tiger II. God, Lord, that was just brutal. So many tanks gone. And the engine on that one is still firing off.
Button her up. Big push coming. Reinforcements in. Welcome to the death factory.
Line for guns there, Rakenov holding back. Twitching, forcing healing.
Sherman ready.
Now the Sherman ready there for Orzel. Mechanized ready yet to go up here for use. Fighting Megers there, almost ace level, getting taken apart the lieutenant in a matter of seconds. Another wipe here for Orzel. 3rd Armored Division is down to take some incredibly heavy casualties against the Germans. What's going to start with the Sherman? Panzer IV almost good to go. East side here, troops moving out. Truck ready set up there for use. There we go. This time a bit safer. They could take the place inside this space, but it gives them to do that. Nice hit from the ace of the Kenner on the Sherman. Panzer IV moving in. Direct hit from the other Sherman. Another hit from the Kenner for doing some nasty damage to the Sherman. Corpus will find the Panther putting down to half health, but it is Vetsy 4 now, increasing its accuracy. MD-54 then top. The Mechanized ranking almost done. Need to get that fuel point back. Like he wants any chance of calling a King Tiger when it might matter. Truck reinforcing healing. Artillery called in there by Orzel. Obviously the major, since the Dart Truck is now gone. Got a smouldering wreck.
We're losing a capture point. Armor here.
Ooh, nice hit on the rifle squad. Got close to Vetsy and that light infantry shots.
Supply line just got cut off.
Oh, he does go for the Panther. I think he realizes trying to go for the King Tiger now might be a bit silly with his current situation. Does go for the Panther. The Panzerkampfwagen 5. Honestly, Panzer IV would just work just as well. Like, mate, probably even better. Yak Panther could also work out. But either way, Panther will wait for you. So whatever he chooses there, I think, as long as it's not trying to sort for the King Tiger, I think it's at least fairly decent. 29 kills from the Panther IV. Ooh, got down there by a single hit from the Stuarts. The Sugar Finder doesn't do too much damage though. Also got another airborne assault ready. Fights make for that rifle squad there. Halfway to the ace level of those chaps as well. No, he cancelled the Panther. Still going to go for the King Tiger. Oh, God. You got 152 versus 367. Pod's getting shot at by the tanks. Lined up there. Panphonic repairs. Grab the western fuel point. MD-54 remains in defensive positions. Fox they're getting snapped out by the tanks. Nice hit from the Ken of the Sherman. Nice hit on the Stuart there. Panther moving up. You can not get hit by a satchel charge there. Also got the Ken down the control here of Orzel. Infantry stopped here, but the Panther now very close to the east level. King Tiger is starting to get very close for use as well. Very, very close to that Tiger too. But again, I don't think it's going to have much relevancy on the battlefield. There you go. Königssieger gefechtsbereit. And the west outfit being helped by the NG field on the opposite up, quickly stopped. No advance there. We got 135, there's a 367. Ourselves has a nice big 2-point lead. We shall see if we can withstand the might of the King Tiger, backed up by an almost Ace Panther 4 and a fairly elite infantry force.
Sherman ready to go.
Apart from shooting the Bravo squad in the west to bits. Scott on the way there for Orzel again. I think the King Tiger, he may have to scrap that for something to take on the King Tiger, because the Scott is going to do absolutely nothing against it. Panford in with the machine gun crew there. Just whopping it out. Down they go. Again from there, being cleared up. Panford moving up. Good hit there. Panford getting the ace. Goals almost being destroyed. He could pull in some assault, airborne assault here as Orzel, possibly finish him off here. Scott almost done. He actually keeps at it. Others forgotten about it because of everything that's going on. He actually believes he can help him here. I don't know. King Tiger taking up the steward here. No airborne assault though. I feel like that's a missed opportunity here by Hughes. There you go, Scott out for Orzel. Line for getting eventually free. Bit quiet there.
Troop ready.
Bit quiet again. We got 121 versus 367. Looks like users on the warpath now, moving ahead with infantry and armour. King Tiger's going to spearhead the assault, clearly going for the kind of first place of running down this one, forcing it back, leaving Orzel not even more exposed at the front line to use his armour. There you go, takes out the cannon of the crew.
Allied AT gun
Panford can move to support. Oh, looks like about running a flank there with it. No airborne assault yet. Infantry being shot to bits here. Bit surprised he's not trying to use airborne assault. He's something that can make for a really strong push here versus Orzel, to be honest. Possibly finish him off, but I guess not. Panford sneaking up there. Stewart encountering the Ace Panther 4, decides he's got better places to be. Shell moving in and trying to deal with the Ace Panther 4. Don't think that's a great idea. The shot bounce, very lucky there for Orzel. Panther's going off here. And now calling in the airborne assault. They should just push in with the tanks and the heavy damage King Tiger. Almost got the Sherman, there we go. King Tiger moving in, direct hit on the Sherman, another Sherman, then we've got smoking from down trying to assist. Stewart knocked out here by the Ace Panther for the only advantage, troops are being shot to bits, almost being annihilated. And there you go, Orzel surrenders. Orzel surrenders. GG, game over. A loss there for America, a victory for Germany. A nice little fight here on Crossroads. Orzel certainly had a good start there, good opening hand. Part again due to losing the Mechanized regular, and certainly be careful how you place those trucks there earlier in the game. Hughes, I think, came around nicely. That said, at times I feel like Hughes could have been more aggressive at times, but a bit more flexible in how he handles certain areas tactically. This, I mean, sincerely, was fairly flexible. As for Orzel, I think he should learn to use smoke and also combine arms. I think it done him a great good. I think I'd like to learn to crush Hughes and like him not to stall out the match like that. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell the family. Don't tell enemies. This is Impelling Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.